Hello everyone and welcome to the OB Game Dev. In this video, I'm going to show you how to implement jump with animation in Unity. So as you can see, I have an empty scene with only main camera there, and first thing I will do is to add 2D object sprite and select square to create ground for our scene. And pick a color, it will be like black color, then I just drag it over to the button where the ground belongs to be, and also expand it or scale it horizontally. Then we need to add collider to the component. It will be box collider, and I also make sure that our borders are covering all rectangle. Then I will create another object. Let's say it will be empty, and I will call it player. Let's reset position for our player, and also let's add a new component. First of all, let's add some sprite renderer so we can select some image for our player. I already have some sprite exported to the project, and so after that let's also add collider 2D component to the player. Collider component is responsible for collision of the game object with other game objects that has colliders attached. So we can change boundaries for this collider so it represents our player size. Let's also add Ridgitbody to the component. If we attach Ridgitbody to the, then our player will be affected by Unity physics. And you can add same components in your 3D project. It will be just called box collider and Ridgitbody without 2D. As you can see now, our player fall down like because of the gravity, because we attached Ridgitbody to the component. So let's create jump controller. So I'm adding component and I'm creating jump controller. There is no such a component, so I create script. I will double click on jump controller to open this in Visual Studio. So what do we need here in jump controller? Well, first of all, we of course want to have some public float variable for jump force or jump power. It will be controlling how high we can jump. Also, we want some reference to Ridgitbody. So let's create public Ridgitbody field, and I will call that RB. I will also introduce public boolean can jump variable. I will not use it now, but I will show you how it will be used very soon. So in update, function update is called once per frame as Unity shown us. So inside the update, let's make a condition. So if input, and here we can say that every time we press in space, then we need to jump. And to do that, we can just say input.get button down. And here we need to provide in quotes, we need to say jump. This button pre-configured in Unity. For jump, we have value as a space. So if this condition met, so if we press in jump button, which is space, we want to execute or to call a jump function. And so inside jump function, what we will do, we will just say Ridgitbody rb.velocity is equal to vector2.up. So we want to jump up and we want to multiply that one by our jump power. And that's basically it. This is how we jump in Unity. And don't forget to move this Ridgitbody or drag and drop Ridgitbody to our reference field, Ridgitbody. And now if we run the project, then we can jump, but as you can see, we jumped too high. So let's change this value to, let's say 5. And yes, we can jump now. But if I will press and constantly jump, then as you can see, we're kind of flying. So nothing stops us from jump. So we can perform multiple jumps. And this is why we have this can jump variable. Here in condition, I'm adding if can jump. So if can jump is true, right? So if can jump and we press a button, then we jump. And then also in this case, we need to in our jump, we need to say can jump false first. So we can say, okay, now if we jump, we cannot jump anymore. But then if it will be false, so we cannot jump then later, even if we touch the ground. So for now, let's just invoke another function in half a second, let's say, or second, which is reset jump. And this function, the only thing it will do is here we will say that can jump true again. So right, when we jump, we say we cannot jump anymore because we're jumping now. And after some time, it will reset this can jump variable. So let's try it again. Oh, I forgot to change jump power, so let's make it 5. As you can see, now if I will try to double jump or multi-jump, it's not working because we have can jump variable. Now let's add animator to our player. And also I will create a new folder, which is, I will call it animation. Inside that folder, we need to create animator controller. And later on, we need to, or after we name it, we need to drag it to our player or attach this controller to animator. And so now we can create some animations for our player. For that, let's add tab animation. And here we can just click create. And I will have 2 animation, which is idle and also jump. And so for idle, I'll just drag and drop all of the images I have for idle and just change keyframes. As you can see, when all of these points selected in animation, I can just scale them to make animation slower. And also I can see that I'm missing one more key. So I'm adding first key to the last one. So then my animations looks better. It looks like a closed this loop, right? And for jump also I added new animation for jump, and again I'm just dragging all of the keyframes here, and it looks fine for me. So after that we also want to change logic of animation, so we need to open animator tab, which is hidden in this window tab. And so let's reorganize it a bit. We need to have some parameter that will control which animation right now is run. And so I made a trigger, but let's change it to actually Boolean. So I will delete this jump and create Boolean parameter, and I will say is jumping. Now when we have this parameter, let's make transition from idle to jump and from jump to idle. And let's configure this transition by clicking on the arrow. We can remove, first of all, has exit time and change transition duration to 0 and change condition to is jump true and false for when we go from jump to back to idle. So now we can change this parameter inside our script, and then this will trigger like jump animation and back idle animation. So for that, we need to update, of course, our jump controller script. And let's add reference to animator. So let's say public animator. Now inside jump function, let's use this animator and set Boolean of is jumping to true for when we jump, right? So this will trigger our jumping animation on, and inside reset jump, we make it back false. So then idle animation will be triggered. Let's drag animator to our animator reference of our script by drag and drop and check how it works. So we can see that idle animation and jump animation is triggered. But now I want to change something in the script. So let's fix a bit our reset jump logic. Right now, jump reset is called on some static time. We're invoking it after 1 second, and it's not great because we can jump from different height, from different object, and time can be different. So it's good practice to use on collision enter script, or sorry, on collision enter function, which is built in Unity. And here we can check game object tag of our collision game object tag. Make sure that it's ground, and if so, we reset jump. Now we can remove this invoke. And so let's go back to Unity. To make sure that our new logic is worked correctly, we need to add this new tag to the ground. So let's go to tags and create tag, new tag ground. And now we select our ground and attach this tag ground to our ground. And now if we will try it, let's see. Yeah, so now animation will stop when we touch the ground. The only thing that jump is in loop now, so let's change that. Yeah, this is look much better. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you will give me some like and of course subscribe for this channel. Let me know what you want to see in my next video. Wish you all the best. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.